So we'll start. Please tell us about yourself.
Sir, my name is Parsanjeet Kour. I hail from district Poonch of Jammu and Kashmir. I have done my basic education from district Poonch itself. I graduated in the year 2020 from Government Degree College Poonch. Thereafter, I did my masters from University of Jammu and I completed the same in the year 2022. Since then, I have been preparing for civil services. This is my first attempt at UPSC and my hobbies include giving educational services to children.
You have a very interesting birthday, 31st March. Any
Yes, sir.
significance of this date?
Sir, 31st March marks the end of the financial year.
Very good. So, you are you able to read newspapers or keep a track of the news?
Yes, sir. We used to get the Hindu newspaper after 2 days, but then I am able to read it.
Can you tell us about the new vaccine which the Government of India has approved and yesterday it was launched for COVID, the nasal vaccine?
Sir, the nasal vaccine is known as the Incovac, and it has been. Sir, I have not read yesterday's newspaper. I will get it only in today afternoon. Today evening, I will get
But
that
can't you
newspaper.
see news on laptop or on mobile phone?
Sir, I used to see, but somehow I used to prefer more the Hindu newspaper, and that is
No,
why.
but today, since it was your mock interview fixed, it did not occur to you to have a look at it?
Sorry, sir, I might have missed that.
So you're not aware of the latest development on this? Earlier you have
Sorry.
read it.
Yes, sir.
Any idea how is it given?
Sir, it is a nasal vaccine. It is given through the nose without the use of any syringes. And it is a great development because because it will reduce the amount of the waste which is generated in terms of the syringes and the needles. That would be reduced significantly.
Okay, can you tell me what are the defense exports? India is exporting quite a bit of defense equipment now. So, which equipment is being sold to other countries and to which countries? How many countries? Do you have an idea?
Sir, though I am not exactly aware of, but India is also one of the largest defense exporter as well as defense importer. We are exporting to a number of countries. Like there has been some agreement regarding the selling of BrahMos missile to Philippines. Similarly, there have been many such instances, sir.
So, you know only about BrahMos to Philippines, nothing more.
Sir, I am not able to recall at the moment.
Okay. Now, you know the criminal justice system in our country is broken according to me now because cases don't get registered. If the police registers, they are not efficiently investigated or charge sheeted. Once charge sheeted, crores of cases are pending in courts. Conviction rate is very low. Jails are also overcrowded with the under trial prisoners. So the whole system is completely broken, the criminal justice system. This is my view. Do you agree with me?
Sir, there are a number of issues with the criminal justice system in our country. Like you just mentioned about the occupancy rates in the jail and similarly the pendency of the cases. But still, we are performing very good in a number of aspects. There have been reforms which are being taken, and we are very hopeful that we would be heralding it to an era where there would be justice which would be delivered very quickly.
But this is a very general statement you have made. Tell me something specific. I am proposing that it is broken, and you are saying in a very general way, but based on what facts you are saying that it is not yet broken? Oh.
Sir, if we consider the judiciary at the present, we can say that Supreme Court at present is having a strength of it is working at a strength of about 34 plus. Similarly, we are
No,
also
just a moment. Supreme Court, all the 4 crore cases don't go to Supreme Court.
Yes, sir. There
I'm
have
talking
been
of
pendency
justice
of
to the common man, yeah.
Sir, there have been pendency of the cases at the level of the lower courts, high courts, as well as in the Supreme Courts. But sir, tribunals are functioning very efficiently.
Tribunals have nothing to do with criminal cases, man.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you want to say?
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. My colleagues will talk to you now.
Parsanjeet, your father is a pharmacist?
Yes, sir.
Does he own a pharmacy or is he working in a pharmacy?
Sir, he's a government employee. He's working in the government hospital.
Or he's working in the government hospital?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, do you know how many pharmacies are there in India? The numbers?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware of the exact numbers.
Okay. Now, outside of the government pharmacies, it is very common for pharmacists to dispense over the counter Schedule H drugs, which are prescription drugs. So, do you have a solution to this? Well, this is rampant. You go to any pharmacy and they'll give you a prescription drug without asking for a prescription. Is there a remedy to this problem?
Sir, I think we need to change the attitude both at the level of the pupil also as well as at the level of the chemists also. So far as the level of the pupil are concerned, we should inform them that they should not be taking medicines as such. Like sir, we could recently we could see the issue of the antibiotics which are getting there are development of the antibiotic resistance forms also. So we should aware the people that they should be taking medicines only and only when they are prescribed for the same. They should be preferring the doctors and not their friends who had been treated with a similar disorder. And also at the level of the chemist, we should strictly instruct them that they should not be selling the medicines without any required prescription. I think these hard and soft approaches both would help to in this regard.
The Drugs and Cosmetics Act, which administers the pharmacies, says very clearly that there are penalties if Schedule H drugs are dispensed without prescription. So this hard measure that you're suggesting is already there. It's not working. That's why I'm asking you for a solution. And awareness, you can go on spreading awareness, but the people at the village level don't have access to medical practitioners. So they go to pharmacies and ask them for medicines. So what is the solution?
Sir, that is where we need to work. We need to work at the grassroots level. If we see the community health stations as well as the PHCs at the rural level, we cannot see the specialist doctors there. Not even the specialists. There are not even the regular doctors who are going to attend those PHCs regularly.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So how do you find a solution to this simple problem?
Sir, we should improve the public health infrastructure in our country, particularly at the grassroots level. Just mere introduction of the biometric attendances will not work because doctors usually mark the attendances and rush home. We should ensure that the official hours, they should be in the hospital. We should inculcate such spirit in them.
Okay, Prasenjit, we've gone beyond the question, but doesn't matter. We'll come to another aspect of pharmaceuticals. How big is India's dependence on China for the pharmaceutical industry?
Sir, India is known as the pharmacy of the world, but we are highly dependent upon China when it comes to the active pharmaceutical ingredients. These are the key ingredients which we use to produce our medicines, but we majorly acquire more than 80% of them from China.
So what do we do about it? What do we do about it? I'm asking for solutions. I know the problem.
Sir, we should approach to this problem both in the short term as well as in the long term perspective. For short term perspective, we should diversify our sources and should look for other alternatives also. But for the long term, we should strengthen our own industries, our own medical industries.
You teach, you provide education services for children.
Yes, sir.
You do that personally or as part of an organization?
Sir, no, I personally teach the students of +1 and +2.
What age group are these students?
Sir, in the age group of 16 to 18 years.
Oh, so what in your assessment is the level of their understanding, basic maths, reading abilities?
Sir, I am concerned with teaching of the chemistry and zoology. It appears to me that the learning of technical subjects, students somewhere lag behind. Though when it comes to the subjects where there is a rote learning, they do very well. But there is some issue with the technical subjects.
Okay, now tell me, science, is it a popular subject for children in this age group, 16 to 18 years, or do they go for humanities?
Sir, science and humanities both are two popular streams which the students go in this age group. But definitely, sir, the tilt of the students is more toward the science these days.
Okay, tell me, what are the reforms that you would suggest in education, in improving the quality of education?
Sir, for that, the first and the most important would be the changes at the curriculum level. I would suggest that we should focus more on the experimental learning rather than the rote learning. Similarly, sir, overall development of the child should be focused on. There should be focus on the co-curricular activities as well as the vocational training also.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ms Parsanjeet Kour,
Yes, sir.
please tell me what are the main external security challenges for India?
Sir, the external security challenges which India faces are both conventional as well as non-conventional. So far as conventional threats are concerned, we could see the terrorism, we could see the smuggling of the fake currency notes, the drugs along the borders. And so far as the non-conventional threats are concerned, we have the issue of rising cyber attacks.
All right, you mentioned terrorism. I suppose you mean the terrorist attacks from Pakistan.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
can you tell me some of the main terrorist organizations based in Pakistan which launched these attacks against India?
Sir, there are some organizations like Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed. They are actually based in the POK region and are known for affecting India.
Can you tell me some of the major attacks which Lashkar-e-Taiba has launched against India?
Sir, though I'm not exactly sure, but I can think of the Pulwama attack of 2019.
Are you sure that was by Lashkar or was it by Jaish?
Sir, I think it was by Jaish-e-Mohammed, but I'm not exactly sure of
But
it.
earlier you were saying it was by Lashkar.
Sir, that I
All right,
mentioned
okay. I asked you because surely terrorism from Pakistan would be a major concern for someone living in Jammu and Kashmir. Isn't it? Just
Yes,
from
sir.
across the border.
Yes, sir.
Incidentally, who heads the Jaish-e-Mohammed? Who's the head of the Jaish-e-Mohammed?
Sorry, sir, I'm not exactly sure of.
And can you tell me who's the army chief of Pakistan?
Sorry, sir.
You don't know. All right. Now, as you know, India holds the presidency of the G20. What are the main challenges and problems that India has to tackle as G20 president? Main, 3, 4.
Sir, this presidency of G20 for India is very challenging for a number of reasons. The very first is the world is most divided at this particular juncture. We could see the Russia-Ukraine war, which is still in presence in the world. Similarly, sir, we could see the issue of a rising China, or we could see a dominating China, particularly in the region of the Southeast Asia. Similarly, there have been some issues of the climate change also, and the rising cyber attacks. These are some of the major issues.
Are you following the working group meetings which India is organizing as G20 president. There will be about 200 meetings in various cities. Are you following these meetings?
Sir, I'm aware of the 200 meetings, but exactly I'm not following them.
So you can't tell me what was the subject of the meeting held recently in Trivandrum from 18th to 20th January. You have not followed
Sorry.
that.
No, sorry.
All right. Now, what do you think is the importance of India's Act East policy?
Sir, India's Act East policy is very important because if we consider the easternmost, if we consider the Southeast Asia and the Eastern Asia, they are very important for us. And not only similarly, sir, we have the policies of the look west. Similarly, sir, so that policy is very much important because we get a large number of our resources when it comes to the Southeast Asia and the adjoining nations. We also have the concern of the Golden Triangle, which is actually part of the countries like the Myanmar, like the Thailand and the Laos. So that policy is very important when it comes to our external as well as internal security issues.
Since you mentioned Myanmar and Thailand, both are members of BIMSTEC along with India. Who are the other members apart from India, Thailand and Myanmar?
Sir, BIMSTEC is a grouping of the littoral states of Bay of Bengal. This includes the countries like Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Thailand, Nepal, Bhutan, and sir, sorry sir, I'm able to recall
Well,
only these.
Sri Lanka is the seventh.
Okay, sir.
Now, can you tell me some of the major achievements of BIMSTEC? Or let's put it like this, why is BIMSTEC becoming more important for India?
Sir, BIMSTEC is very much important for India, and this is due to a number of reasons. The very first one that I recently mentioned was the security issue also. Similarly, sir, we have a large trade potential when it comes to the BIMSTEC countries. We have huge trade potential with them, and these are some of the reasons that due to which BIMSTEC is important for us.
My last
And-
question to you.
Okay, sir.
Pakistan keeps raising the issue of a plebiscite in terms of the UN resolutions. Why do you think that Pakistan's argument does not hold water? In other words, why is Pakistan's argument that there should be a plebiscite, why this argument is not valid anymore?
Sir, Pakistan from time and again has been demanding for plebiscite when it comes to the region of Jammu and Kashmir. But this is not valid, sir, because the then Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir had acceded entire state of Jammu and Kashmir to India when it comes to instrument of accession. So considering that Pakistan's claim on Jammu and Kashmir is not holding any grounds, so as such is this
No, but
plebiscite.
Pakistan says there was a 1949 resolution which said that there should be a plebiscite in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir. What is wrong with Pakistan's argument?
Sir, as far as I know about that 1949 resolution, it called for plebiscite only when Pakistan forces would be removed from the POK region. But since still today we are having the presence of Pakistani forces in the POK region, so plebiscite could not be a solution then, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Prasanjeet, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I can hear
Okay.
you.
So we'll begin with your state. Now, you know, there is a demand for statehood of Ladakh.
Yes, sir.
What are your views?
Sir, though Ladakh had been a part of Jammu and Kashmir, but there is no denying of the fact that it had been an area which had been underprivileged as well as least developed area when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir. Considering that, I think demand of statehood for Ladakh is genuine because it would ensure development in the region. Even after Ladakh has transformed into a UT, but still development is not there to that much extent when we compare it with that of the Jammu and Kashmir. So I think that demand is genuine.
Okay. You know, Taliban was kind of created, nourished, nurtured by Pakistan. Taliban, I'm talking of Taliban, okay. Now, why are they inimical to Pakistan?
Sir, it was remarked by a person, though I'm not able to recall his name, that if you will be rearing snakes, then someday they will be biting you again also. And similar was the case of Pakistan and Taliban. Pakistan was using Taliban time and again against India. And now it is the Taliban only which is actually affecting Pakistan. We could also see that there was an instance in a school where a number of school children were actually killed by Taliban-sponsored attack in Pakistan way back in 2015. So, sir, that is the issue.
Okay. There are some developments, very recent developments in Gilgit-Baltistan. Did you follow them?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall.
Okay. Two terms I would ask you to define for me. What is persona non grata? And the second one is extraterritorial jurisdiction.
Persona non grata is someone who is actually not in. Sir, sorry, I'm not able
Okay,
to recall.
I'll explain that to you during the course of our feedback to you. Extraterritorial jurisdiction.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Do you know what is honey trapping? Honey trapping.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Sir, there was some instance of honey trapping in the area of the Andhra Pradesh, particularly in the coastal police. Sir, it is actually a process in which information is taken from a security personnel by alluring that person in the name of the love. And that was some issue which was reported in the coastal area of Andhra Pradesh. I think in 2020 it was reported.
By the way, honey trapping is very common in common abroad. In the diplomatic parlance, it is there.
Okay, sir.
A little while ago, a mention of Myanmar was made. So why aren't we critical of the regime in Myanmar now? Aung San Suu Kyi, for example, she studied in India. The true leader of Myanmar. But there is a military regime in Myanmar, but we don't criticize them. Why so, you think?
Sir,
Can you hear me?
That is because of the fact that India shares a very long border with Myanmar, and Myanmar had been very supportive to India in a number of ways also. And when it comes to military coup in Myanmar, India considers it to be a part of their internal issue. So we are not directly criticizing it. This is partly because of the fact that we are also having some fear that it might affect the instability when it comes to Northeast. So that is why.
Okay. Now name two political parties each in three of the states, neighboring countries, Nepal, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Two political parties.
Sorry, sir.
Not even one? One
Sir,
political party? Pakistan or
Sir.
Bangladesh or Nepal?
Sir, no. Sir, for Bangladesh we have Awami League.
Okay.
And,
Nepal? No.
Sir, though I'm aware of some political developments recent in
Okay,
Nepal, but I'm
Prasanjeet,
not
my last question to you.
Okay, sir.
That focuses on your area of interest. You provide educational services to children.
Yes, sir.
What kind of services do you provide?
Sir, I assist children, particularly from the poor background, to complete their syllabus, because science subjects is something that will definitely demand tuitions, and tuitions are very costly. So I assist them in that.
Thank you, Prasanjeet.
Thank you
sir.
so much, Ms Parsanjeet. Our discussion with you is over. So kindly switch off for 2 minutes. We will reconnect with you to give you feedback.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.